All right, let's jump into another deep dive. Today we're looking at Chapter 12 of Frankenstein, and you guys specifically asked for a clear picture of the story.
That's right.
So that's what we're going to try and do. Just really make it crystal clear what's going on.
Yeah.
And, this chapter's got a lot going on.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It really is.
Yeah.
Contrasting emotions and a bit of mystery.
Yes.
And the monster is really starting his journey of self-discovery.
It's a journey.
Yes.
And what's really gripping is that Mary Shelley puts us right in the thick of things, right? We're seeing through the monster's eyes,
Yeah.
literally peering into the lives of the DeLacy family.
Yeah, it's like we're right there with him, hiding in the shadows.
Exactly.
And then he describes their gentle manners.
Right.
And it really emphasizes how different that is from what he's experienced,
Totally.
Just constant cruelty, and then to see this gentleness.
Yeah, and you can just feel his yearning for that connection.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, that kindness, that simplicity. But, he's also terrified of rejection.
Yeah,
It's like this real internal struggle that I think we can all relate to.
absolutely, yeah. Want something so badly.
Yeah.
But just the fear of rejection
Exactly.
is just so powerful.
Yeah, it makes you really pay attention to what he's noticing even more.
Yes, very poignant.
Yeah, he's like a ghost, just watching them, but so afraid to reach out.
Right.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. So speaking of the DeLacy family,
Yeah,
let's introduce them properly.
let's do it.
We have the blind father, who is a figure of, wisdom and strength.
Absolutely.
And then we have Felix the son, who's hardworking and devoted.
Yes, very much so.
And then Agatha, the daughter, who just seems to just radiate warmth and compassion.
They're materially poor, but their home is just brimming with love.
Yes.
They have everything that he craves.
Yeah.
Family, acceptance, belonging.
Yeah, but there's this shadow hanging over them.
Right.
This persistent sadness. And even the monster picks up on it.
He does.
Right.
Yeah, he can sense it.
And this is where the mystery comes in. It's
Yeah.
like they have this idyllic life,
They do.
but something's not quite right.
Right, and remember, he's still figuring out how the world works.
Yeah.
He doesn't really understand human emotions and relationships that well yet.
Yeah.
So he sees this joy, but then he also sees the sorrow, and he's trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, like a detective.
Exactly. He's observing them, trying to decipher what's causing them this distress.
And eventually he uncovers the truth, right?
He does.
He figures out that they're struggling with poverty,
Poverty and hunger.
they're going hungry, and it's a
Yeah.
harsh reality,
It is.
especially considering how much love they have for each other.
Yeah, the way Shelley describes their hardship is heartbreaking.
It really is.
Their clothes are patched up.
Yeah.
They only have meager meals.
Right.
And they sacrifice so much to make sure that the old man is comfortable.
Right.
It's very powerful.
And you see this disparity even within a family that loves each other so much.
Absolutely.
And what's amazing is how this realization affects the monster.
Right.
He doesn't become resentful.
No,
It doesn't make him bitter, in fact.
he changes.
Yeah, he changes.
He stops stealing their food,
Yeah,
which, he's so hungry.
desperately hungry.
So that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah, and he starts helping them.
He does.
Bringing firewood, clearing snow.
Yeah.
These acts of kindness.
Incredible.
I know, in secret,
Yeah.
under cover of night.
Yeah, like he wants to lessen their suffering.
Yeah, it's like he's trying to repay them for this warmth that they're giving him.
Right, even though they don't even know he's there.
Exactly.
It's like this contradiction because this creature that is viewed as a monster
Right.
is actually capable of so much empathy.
So much compassion. And
Yeah.
this is where Shelley challenges us.
Yeah.
What makes a monster?
Right.
Is it how you look or is it what you do?
It's a question that carries through the whole book, right?
The whole book.
Yeah, it makes you look at your own judgments.
Absolutely.
And biases.
Yeah.
And the monster doesn't stop there.
No, he keeps developing.
Yeah, he's not just watching anymore.
He's taking action.
He's trying to figure out how to bridge the gap
Yes.
between them. And he thinks the key is language.
Oh, absolutely. Language is everything.
Yeah.
He sees it as this tool to understand them, not with them.
Yeah.
So he starts learning.
Yeah.
He watches them talk. He listens to their conversations.
Just deciphering.
He's deciphering, putting it all together.
Like this code
Yeah.
that he's trying to break.
Exactly. And slowly he starts to get it.
Yeah. There's this great moment when he finally understands some basic words.
Yes.
Like fire, milk, bread, wood,
Yeah.
The essentials.
Imagine that, finally cracking the code.
Right.
So it's a small step, but for him, it's huge.
Yeah, monumental.
It really is. And as he learns more, he starts to become more self-aware, too.
Right, right.
Shelley contrasts the beauty of the cottagers
Yeah.
with how the monster sees himself.
And this is where it gets kind of heartbreaking
Yeah.
because he becomes fixated on their grace and their beauty and their delicate complexions.
Right.
And then he looks at himself.
It's that moment of self-recognition that's pivotal.
Yeah. And he's horrified by what he sees.
He is. And it's not just about how he looks.
No.
He's internalizing their standards of beauty.
Yeah, he's been learning their language, their culture.
Right.
And he's starting to see himself the way they would see him.
Exactly. And what he sees doesn't match up with how he feels inside.
Right. All that kindness and empathy.
It just doesn't fit, does it?
No.
It creates this conflict, this real inner turmoil.
Makes you think, how much of how we see ourselves is based on what other people think.
Absolutely. It's something we all struggle with, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to appearance.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Shelley really captures that, even in this fantastical story.
Yeah, but there's also this glimmer of light
There is.
when spring arrives.
Yes. It's not just a change of season. It's symbolic.
It's hope. It's renewal.
Exactly.
The world's coming alive again. And you can feel that in the monster, too.
His suffering fades, and there's this sense of tranquility.
It's like nature's giving him a chance to start over.
Fresh start.
Yeah. And the DeLacy family, their situation's getting better.
Yes. They find more food. Their spirits are lifted.
And he sees that. He sees that as a good sign.
He sees it as hope.
Yeah, like things can get better. He can find his place.
Maybe he can?
And it makes him want to connect with them even more.
More than ever.
Yeah, he's like, if I can learn their language and they see how kind I am,
Right.
then maybe they can look past how I look.
It's a gamble, a big one.
It is, to reveal
You
himself.
trust them like that.
Yeah,
But it shows just how much he wants that connection
absolutely.
to belong somewhere.
It reminds us that everyone, even someone like him, wants acceptance, wants love.
It's a very human need.
It is, but the cottagers, they have no idea he's even there.
No, they don't.
They think all the nice things he's doing are from some good spirit.
It's ironic, isn't it?
It is. The very creature they're afraid of
Yeah.
is protecting them.
And we know the truth,
We do.
which makes it even more suspenseful.
It does. And it makes you wonder how they're going to react when they find out.
That's the question, isn't it?
It is. Will they be able to see past his appearance?
See the good in him?
That's what Shelley leaves us with.
And it's a powerful question. It goes beyond the monster.
It does.
It makes us think about humanity itself.
It's not just about a monster learning to talk.
No.
It's about so much more.
It really is.
Compassion and prejudice.
The search for belonging.
The struggle between what's on the inside and how we look.
It stays with you. It really
Yeah.
makes you think.
Yeah.
And it makes you think about how the monster is feeling, all this inner turmoil.
Right. On the one hand, he wants that connection.
It does.
He wants to be loved, like the DeLacy family.
Absolutely.
But then he sees how he looks,
Right.
and he's afraid of being rejected.
It's like a pendulum swinging back and forth, hope and then despair. And the more language he learns,
Yeah.
the more he picks up on all those little cues,
Oh, those subtle ways we judge each other.
Exactly.
Oh, it's tough.
It is. And he's seeing himself through their eyes.
Yeah.
Which is really painful.
Yeah, the more he understands about connection,
Yikes.
the more isolated he feels.
Yeah, like self-awareness can be a blessing and a curse.
It can.
Knowledge can hurt.
It can.
But even with all that turmoil, there's still hope.
Right. The spring, the family's getting
Yep.
better.
Yeah, his own acts of kindness. It's
Yeah.
like maybe things can be different.
It makes you want to root for him,
It does.
even though we know it might not end well.
That's the power of storytelling, right?
It is.
You want to believe that good can triumph.
Yeah, the compassion can overcome prejudice.
That's the big question Shelley leaves us with, right?
It is.
Will the DeLacy family accept him?
After all they've been through.
Will they see past how he looks?
And it's a question that goes beyond the book,
It really does.
It makes us look at our own biases
Absolutely.
about people who are different.
How quick are we to judge?
Yeah.
It's a powerful message.
So much packed into one chapter.
Oh, it's incredible.
It really is. It's more than just a monster learning to talk.
It's about compassion and prejudice,
The search for belonging,
the struggle between inner and outer beauty.
it's about the human experience.
Exactly. It's a story that stays with you.
It really does. It makes you think.
And feel.
And that's the power of Mary Shelley.
She was a genius.
She really was. Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive on Chapter 12.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. If you haven't read Frankenstein, you definitely should.
You won't regret it.
And if you have, maybe it's time for another look.
Always something new to discover.
Exactly. Until next time, keep exploring.